You're a disgrace to this family. You'll never make it. You're just a dreamer with no direction, my father said, not in anger, but with something colder. Disgust. I stood there, holding the certificate I had just earned. It wasn't from a fancy university. It was a business license, the first legal step I had taken toward launching my own tech startup. He didn't even look at the document. He just turned and walked away, leaving me in the middle of the living room, surrounded by silence, like I didn't exist. I didn't cry. Not then. I just stood there, swallowing every lump in my throat, willing my face to stay calm. My mom didn't say anything either. She just pretended to straighten the cushions. That silence hurt more than his words. That night, I packed up my things and left without saying goodbye. 3 years later, he's sitting outside my office, wearing a tie, holding a resume, waiting for an interview, for a job at my company. Growing up, I was the invisible son. My older brother, Daniel, was the golden child. Captain of the football team, straight-A student, Dad's pride and joy. When he walked into a room, the world lit up. When I entered, it was like someone turned off the lights. I wasn't bad at school. I just didn't shine the way Daniel did. I liked computers, coding, building small programs and games on our dusty old desktop. I once stayed up all night to fix my uncle's broken laptop. Didn't even get a thank you. But when Daniel got a new job offer in another city, Dad threw a barbecue. I can still hear him say, "That's my boy. You're going to make something of yourself." He never said that to me, not once. Mom would occasionally try to soften the imbalance. "Your dad just doesn't understand your world," she'd say. He grew up with different values. But deep down, I knew it wasn't about understanding. It was about respect. And I had none. Even when I started freelancing and making decent money, Dad would call it your little computer thing. When I mentioned I wanted to launch a startup, he laughed hard. "You don't have what it takes," he said. "You're soft. The world's gonna eat you alive." It was the same when I offered to help with the mortgage one month when Dad was between jobs. He took the money, then said nothing. I wasn't angry back then, just tired. I tried harder, showed up more, worked longer. I thought if I kept proving myself, one day he'd say he was proud. That day never came. Instead, he told me I was a disgrace for leaving college early, for not working a real job, for embarrassing him in front of his friends. And that was the moment I realized. I wasn't going to earn his love. I was going to have to live without it. After the blow-up, I didn't go home for weeks. No calls. No texts. Just silence. Then one evening, Mom called. Her voice was tight, rehearsed. "Your father's birthday dinner is this Sunday, but maybe it's better if you don't come." I sat there, holding the phone to my ear, stunned. "Why?" I asked quietly. "He's still upset. And your brother's bringing some important guests. It's just not the right time." Not the right time. Not when I paid last month's utility bill. Not when I offered to fix the broken water heater. Not when I helped design the flyer for Daniel's business launch, for free. I didn't argue. I just said, "Okay," and hung up. The next day, I got a message from Daniel. "Don't make things harder than they need to be. This is just for the family." Just for the family. And yet, somehow, I wasn't part of that. That night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, feeling something inside me snap, not in anger, but in understanding. They weren't going to see me. They weren't going to choose me. But maybe I could start choosing myself. I didn't make a scene. I didn't post some dramatic status online. I didn't call anyone to explain my side. I just stopped. I canceled the automatic transfers I'd been sending my parents every month, the ones they never asked for, but always expected. I deleted Daniel's number, archived the group chat, muted every notification that came from them. And for the first time, the silence didn't feel like punishment. It felt like peace. I stopped showing up for people who only saw me when they needed something. I stopped begging for a seat at a table that had already decided I wasn't welcome. There were no confrontations, no last words, just absence. And in that quiet, I began to breathe differently. Mornings became lighter. My thoughts felt less crowded. I started pouring into myself, into my work, my health, my own sense of purpose. For the first time, my silence wasn't fear. It was freedom. Months passed. I kept building my little tech startup in silence, focusing on growth, coding late into the night, and slowly gaining clients. Then one day, an unexpected message came through LinkedIn. It was from Clara, my partner Alex's aunt, someone I'd met once at a family dinner years ago. "Hey, I just saw your feature in Tech Innovators magazine," she wrote. "I'm so proud of you. You probably don't remember, but years ago you helped me with my mother's medical records when no one else could. You made a huge difference for our family." I was stunned. That act of kindness, from so long ago, had stayed with someone outside my family. Clara's message opened a window to a world where I wasn't the disappointment, where my efforts, my heart, mattered. Soon after, Alex told me Clara had spoken to some of her friends about me. "They say you're not just a coder or a businessman. You're a lifesaver, a problem solver, someone who really cares." For the first time, I realized the story my family told about me wasn't the whole truth. There were others who saw me differently, who saw me. It wasn't about trying harder to earn approval. It was about recognizing who truly saw me, beyond the noise and the pain. And in that recognition, something inside me shifted again. I was no longer just surviving their rejection. I was building a new story, one where I belonged. Not long after Clara's message, things started to change. Out of nowhere, my dad called. I think we need to talk," he said, voice hesitant, like he was testing the waters. But it wasn't really about fixing what was broken. It was about controlling the damage. "We want to reset," my mom added one evening, dropping the phrase like a bandage over a deep wound. "Things got out of hand," my dad said, almost rehearsing his words. "We never meant to hurt you." But I wasn't blind. I knew this wasn't about me. It was about appearances, keeping up the family image, protecting Daniel's reputation. "Can you ask Alex to delete that post?" my brother texted, referring to a quiet message I'd shared online about my journey. They wanted the story swept under the rug, the truth hidden, the embarrassment erased. I listened calmly. I thanked them for calling, but I didn't promise anything. Because this time, I wasn't here to be their safety net or their PR fix. I was here for myself. One evening, my phone buzzed with a new message, this time from Clara again. "I wanted to share something with you," she wrote. "After telling my friends about you, several of them reached out, saying how much you've helped their families too, quietly, without asking for anything in return. You didn't just save my grandmother's health records, you gave her hope when she felt invisible." Her words hit me deeply. For years, I'd felt unseen, dismissed by my own blood. But here was someone recognizing the truth, the kindness I'd given freely, without expectation. A voicemail followed the message, from a woman named Mrs. Larson, one of Clara's close friends. "You don't know me," she said softly, "but you saved my daughter's life with your dedication. I wanted you to know, you made us all feel like someone cared. You mattered." Tears welled up. I replayed that voicemail more times than I can count, letting the gratitude wash over me. For the first time, I wasn't just a name or a disappointment to someone. I was the person who showed up. The person who made a difference, not by blood, but by heart. That night, I understood something important. Sometimes, the family who truly sees you is the one you find when you stop chasing approval and start living your truth. It was a powerful moment of healing, a reminder that kindness given in silence eventually echoes back. And in that echo, I found the strength to keep moving forward, unburdened and unashamed. A few weeks later, my phone rang again. This time it was my dad. "I want to come by," he said softly. "Can we talk in person?" I took a deep breath and opened the door when he showed up. He looked older, tired, the same man who once called me a disgrace. He spoke carefully, trying to explain, to justify, to repair. But I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I didn't ask for apologies. I simply looked at him and said, "No." It was quiet, calm, firm. No drama, no shouting, no second chances given or demanded. Just a peaceful refusal. Because I had spent too long trying to fix a broken story. Now, I was writing my own, one where I didn't need to prove my worth to anyone who refused to see it. And in that quiet no, I found peace. Looking back, I realize how much pain I carried from seeking approval from those who never truly saw me. Sometimes the hardest battles are fought not against others, but within ourselves, learning when to hold on and when to let go. If you're watching this and feeling rejected, silenced, or invisible, know this. You are not too much. You are just too real for people who pretend. It's okay to walk away from those who diminish your light. Sometimes, not showing up is the most powerful thing you can do for your peace, your growth, and your happiness. Your worth isn't defined by others' opinions or acceptance. It's in your kindness, your courage, and your truth. So, hold your head high. Keep moving forward. And remember, the family who truly loves you might be the one you choose, not the one you were born into. You deserve to be seen, valued, and loved just as you are.